In this video, we will discover Boolean operations with the BoolTool add-on. So, first of all, let's activate this add-on. I will just remove here my objects. Like usual, I will just keep only my cube, and I will go into Edit Preferences, and we will enable our first add-on that we will keep during all the training. So let's go here into the add-on section here, and we will just search for Bool. And we will find Object BoolTool, okay? So Object BoolTool will give you the possibility to make some Boolean operations just with one click. Very simple. Here you have the possibility to see the tool. If you select your object, you will have here the tool that will appear normally into Edit. You will have here the BoolTool operations, okay, that are available. And we will use these 8 possibilities, and we will discover these 8 possibilities together. So basically, what is a Boolean operation? A Boolean operation is between two 3D objects. And for example, if you have a mesh, and let's say it will be a UV sphere, and I will move a little this UV sphere into the corner of my cube, for example, something like that. And that I would like my sphere to dig a hole into my cube like that, I just select my two objects, my sphere first, my cube, then I click on difference, and it will make a hole, as you can see. So if I make Ctrl Z, I have my objects again, and I have 4 kinds of Boolean possibilities that I can do. I can make a difference, so as I did show you, it makes a hole like that with the shape of the original object. You can see that for the first one, the auto Boolean, it makes something that is totally destructive. You cannot come back except with Control Z. Okay, if you go now into edit mode, everything, all the geometry is here ready to use, but it's something destructive. So if you add other object, do other operations, after you cannot come back to that. So I have enough Ctrl Z to come back, and here you have 4 different options here I told you. So here you have the union, and it creates a new object with the 2 shapes here, so it makes a union basically, but it's different than Ctrl J. You will tell me, okay, let's say you will have these 2 objects like we had in the beginning, okay, and we will just Shift D and put it into the x-axis, Shift D X, and we will have two possibilities to make one object. We will have the Ctrl J, okay, that makes one object, and we will have here the union with the Boolean, and you will tell me everything looks the same, Julian. There is no difference at all. No, actually there is a big difference. And when you look at it into wireframe view here, you can see that here the geometry of the sphere inside the cube did disappear, and it did keep only the skin outside the geometry that we had origin. So, but here we have still the geometry of the sphere inside the cube. So this one is very useful for everything related with 3D printing, for example. Here, if you have 2 objects like that cross each other for 3D printing, some softwares for 3D printing, they don't like it too much because they don't know where is the geometry, and so they will tell, okay, what I do with this part, they don't know really. So, but with this one, you are sure that you have only the skin, let's say, of the 2 original objects, okay? So, just to show you that, what is the difference between Ctrl J and the union here, important to understand that. I come back with Ctrl Z to the 2 original objects and to show you the other options here. So you have the intersect that will keep the intersection between the 2 objects like that, and you have the slice, and the slice makes 2 objects, and so the intersection and the difference. Okay, so you will have the two. It's kind of two booleans, the difference and the intersect, and it keeps the intersection between the two. So interesting to use it too. So okay, it's good, very powerful. It works with two objects too. If for example you add here one there, and let's say you have another cube here that you move here and scale it down, maybe put it there, scale it into the z-axis to have something like that, and make another version of that one somewhere here maybe. Okay, and move it down. Good. So now you will want to make holes with this. I will go into orthographic view to see more what we had. And if you select the cube at last, okay, and make here a difference, you will see that it will create holes everywhere. So very interesting and very powerful to make some custom shapes like that with what you want. Okay, so only with the original shapes of Blender and the original here meshes, you have already a lot of possibilities to play with to make some basic modeling, and we will see how to do that into the next video. We'll make some examples, but for now everything is destructive. But we have the possibility to make it non-destructive too. So I will remove the two cubes here, okay, and I will just make it like that. And if I use now the difference with the brush boolean here, you can see that it will create an object here. It's still my sphere that is here, and in edit mode it's still my sphere. It's still my sphere, but you can see that if I move it, it's non-destructive, and I can move it directly and see where I want to put it. So for example, if I want to put it here and I'm happy with that, okay, I dig a hole into this face and I have the possibility to move it, to scale it, to rotate it, and it will work directly and instantly. So you can see live what will happen with the brush boolean. And how it works basically, this one is just another visualization of the mesh. So if you go into the options, you will see that the viewport display did change to bounds, and like this you just have a basic square around your object that doesn't disturb you too much to see the whole. Because if you have, for example, the solid version here of the sphere, you don't really see what's happening to the cube. So you're moving your sphere like that, it makes some effects to the cube, but you don't see what's happening really. But if it's with bounds like that, you can really see what's happening and can move your object very quickly, and it works. So when you click on that, it creates the bounds directly, and on this object it creates a modifier that is a BoolTool modifier. So it's the same than the Boolean modifier that we have here, that you can create manually too, but it's really less complex to create it with the brush boolean. It's more quick, it's quicker. And here you have the possibility still to change and to apply all the operations. If you want to apply an union, it will work. If you want to apply an intersect, it will work. And still you can move your objects instantly like that, and it works live. So this is what is really powerful in this system. It's that you can really play with it, and you can interact directly into the 3D viewport like that. So it works with different, with union, with intersect, with slice, and you can add several objects like that too. So if I add another cube here and maybe put it there, I don't know, somewhere here, and with SZ to cross the entire cube here, let's say, and I make another difference here, and I will have another crossing section. And if I add here, let's say, a cylinder, and I will scale it down and scale it into the z-axis like that, and put it, let's say, maybe somewhere in the corner, somewhere there, and I will just can create another shape by making another difference there. Okay, and So it's a very, very powerful system, and you will have the possibility to do a lot of things, and it's non-destructive. You can still move your objects, scale your objects if you want. It will work. Okay, so very, very strong and powerful feature. Just like that, you will have a shape. After, if you want to apply your shape, when you are happy with your shape, you can just take your original cube and apply all the modifiers, and at that point you will make something destructive. So if you just let's say apply all the modifiers like that, okay, and you go into edit mode, now you can see that all the geometry is available, and that you will have everything destructive. And now if you move your object, it doesn't have any effect on it anymore. So you can basically remove your objects, for example, if it's not useful, like this, and like this you will have your new object. Okay, but now it became destructive. But if you want to keep everything, what I do usually, if I want to have a non-destructive workflow and that I can keep all my modifiers with me, I just hide after just my objects here. So I select my objects, my 3 objects here, and just hide it with H, and like this it doesn't disturb me anymore. I just have to focus on my object. It's still here somewhere and has the action with the modifiers, but doesn't disturb me, don't disturb me into my interface. So that's it for the Boolean add-on. You can see that it's a very, very powerful add-on, and that you can make a lot of shapes already, and we will discover already what we can do with simple modeling exercises from primitive into the next video.